Okay, anak, we have come to video number 4, which is about if we are in the shoes of the buyer. Okay, we are now talking about account payables. In our last video, we talk about if we are the seller, we are going to get account receivable. So how are we going to manage the risk if our currency appreciates? Okay, so in this case, we are in the shoes of the buyer. Contradictory with the receivables, as an importer or buyer, we will pay to the seller in the foreign currency. Alright, jadi kita takut kalau our home currency will depreciate, the foreign currency will depreciate. Why? Because if our currency depreciate, duit kita jadi murah. Right, bila kita nak beli je foreign currency, kita kena bayar lebih. Alright, kenapa kita kena beli foreign currency? Yelah kita nak bayar dekat kita punya seller. Sebelum kita bayar, kita kena beli dulu currency dia. So we have to pay more to buy the foreign currency in order to pay our seller. Example, kita tengok today is early January, you enter a contract with the seller which you need to pay him berapa? USD 1 million in 3 months time. Katakan sekarang current exchange rate is RM3.50 per USD. By the end of March, currency kita depreciate to RM3.80 per USD. So what happen if our currency depreciated? Kita kena bayar lebih. Kita kena bayar banyak mana? Untuk 1 million USD, we have to pay 3.8 million ringgit. Sebab 1 USD bersamaan RM3.80. If currency, alright, doesn't change, tak berlaku depreciation, cost adalah 3.5 juta. Kenapa? 1 juta darab RM3.50. However, since our currency has depreciated, so we have to pay the seller extra cost by how much? 300,000 ringgit. Ni 3.8 juta tolak 3.5 juta, tak ke 300,000 extra cost of purchase. Alright, that's why kita sebagai buyer, kita takut lah. Okay, alright, kalau currency kita depreciate. Okay, so how can we manage the exposure? First, by using forward market hedge. In this case, kita akan guna as rate sebab kita akan beli currency. Bila kita nak beli, bank akan jual, so kita akan guna as rate. Kita enter contract tu hari ni. Alright, and then kita boleh guna juga option market hedge. This time kita akan guna call option. We have learned about 2 type of option. Yang pertama, kita ada call option and put option. Call option is the option that give us the right to buy the foreign currency at the exercise price. But in order to gain the right, kita kena beli dulu option tu, kita kena bayar premium. Okay, and finally, kita boleh guna money market hedge. In this case, kalau sebelum ni receivable, kita borrow dekat foreign, kita invest dekat home. Tapi for payables, okay, what happen in money market, kita akan borrow dekat home country, alright, in our home currency and invest in the foreign country. Okay, apa idea dia kita borrow home, kita invest foreign? Ingat account receivable ke account payables ke, it's all about foreign country. Okay, jadi bila kita nak bayar hutang, okay, idea dekat sini, kenapa kita borrow home, invest foreign, ni amount yang terhasil from the investment made in the foreign country, kita akan guna untuk bayar the payables. Okay, alright. To understand further, let's do this question. We have a US firm, NUS firm, that has a future payables worth 700,000 euro, which will due right in 6 months. Due to the exchange rate risk exposure it must face, the firm has various hedging strategy to choose from. So the following market information is available. Okay, dia hutang 700,000 euro, okay, mature in 6 months. So be careful with the time period. Kalau 6, sebelum ni receivable punya contoh semua setahun nak matang, so interest rate pun untuk setahun. So dalam kes ni dia kena bagi semua untuk 6 months. Okay, for example spot rate, tak adalah spot rate tu nilai hari ni lah. 6 month forward rate also given to you. We have 6 month call option and 6 month put option, the exercise price and the premium, and also the 6 month interest rate. Kalau dia bagi alright, interest rate untuk setahun, maka interest tu kita kena bahagi 2. Alright, but dalam kes ni tak perlu bahagi 2 lah, sebab the interest rate given to you is already for 6 months borrowing and investment. Okay, find the hedge value if the firm uses forward option and money market to hedge his payables, and decide which alternative is the best. So let's first look at the forward contract hedge. Okay, forward market hedge. So since we are going to buy, we need to use the as rate. So ambil je the value of payables 700,000 euro times with the as rate. Kat mana as rate ni? 0.9834. Maka inilah the amount of USD, right, you need to have in order to buy 700,000 euro. Ini cost dia 688,380. Please remember, in the case of payables, kita nak cari jumlah yang paling rendah. Sebab kita nak beli kan, kita nak beli pada nilai yang lebih rendah. So untuk dapatkan 700,000 euro, maka kita perlukan duit USD banyak mana? 688,380. And then if we do option market hedge, kita akan guna call option. Sebab kita nak beli pada exercise price. Okay, beli apa? Beli euro lah. So in this case, alright, let's take a look at this one. Formula dia, kenapa exercise price plus premium? Sebab ini adalah cost untuk beli foreign currency. Sebab call option ni kan right to buy foreign currency at exercise price. Premium pun cost juga. Cost untuk beli option. Nak dapatkan right to buy the foreign currency, we have to buy the option first. So ada dua cost kat sini. Mula-mula kena beli option pada harga premium tu. And then bila dah dapat option tu, barulah ada right untuk beli currency at exercise price. So we have two costs here. Cost to purchase option, cost to buy to purchase or to buy the foreign currency. And then we time with payables. Yang tadi receivable in our last two videos, kenapa minus? Sebab ini selling price. Sebab put tu kan right to sell foreign currency at X. Ini adalah cost to buy option. Maka that's why kita tak tambah, kita tolak. Dalam kes ni, dua-dua ni adalah kita punya outflow cost. Alright, outflow cost lah. So we will take the value of the payables times with exercise price plus premium. Maka this is the amount of USD needed to buy 700,000 euro. Okay, we have one more market to hedge our account payables. Alright, in this case, we will borrow home and we will invest foreign. Of course, first and foremost, in order to do money market hedge, we have to determine the amount to borrow in the home country. So we will take the amount of payables or value of payables divide with 1 plus I. Ingat anak-anak, in this case, I yang kita guna untuk case payables ni, kita akan guna I, which is the investment or deposit rate in foreign country. Kita akan guna interest rate or deposit rate, alright, in the foreign country. Jangan guna yang home, guna yang foreign punya. Walaupun kita meminjam kat negara kita, kita akan guna investment or deposit rate in foreign country. So kita tengok yang mana home US, foreign adalah Jerman, maka kita ambil rate dia. So dalam kes ni dia tak bezakan antara deposit rate and borrowing rate. So assume ini adalah deposit and borrowing rate samalah. Okay, so we will take 5.5%. Okay. So why we use the deposit rate of foreign country? Okay, sebab cuba tengok strategi dia. We will borrow home, kita akan invest dekat foreign. Jadi idea dia sebenarnya, bila kita labur nanti, amount that we are going to receive from the investment should be equals to the amount of payable. Sebab bila kita melabur dekat foreign country nanti, jumlah tu kita akan guna untuk bayar payables. Okay, that's why kita akan guna interest rate in the foreign country. Tak apa, ingat je yang tu. So bila kita dapat jawapan, okay, euro 663,507.11. Ini dalam euro. Kita nak pinjam in home, so kita convert kepada USD. Bila kita nak convert, kita akan guna spot as rate today. Okay, spot as 0.9852. So dapatlah jumlah dia dalam USD. So this is the amount that we need to borrow in our home country, 653,687.2. Then we will prepare the table. Okay. So kita akan borrow dekat home country US pada 5%. Cuba tengok ni 5% kita pinjam pada rate ni. Berapa jumlah kita pinjam here that we have calculated just now? 653,687.2. Lepas tu bila kita pinjam, duit masuk lah. That's why the positive. Duit tu pula kita convert kepada euro sebab kita nak melabur dekat Jerman. Bila kita convert USD bertemu USD bahagi, guna rate mana? Guna as rate. Okay, sebab kita nak beli, bank akan jual. That's why kita guna as rate. That should be the reason why kat sini pun kita darab ni, kat atas ni kita darab dengan as. Okay, alright. So jadilah negatif. Sebab apa? Duit ni dah bertukar jadi euro. Dalam euro nilai dia berapa? 663,507.11. Bila dah dapat duit dalam euro, then you will invest the amount, that amount of money, maka jadi negatif lah. Invest in Jerman pada 5.5. Negatif tu maksudnya duit tu dah dikeluarkan untuk dilaburkan. So after 6 months, what happened? you will receive the investment plus the interest. Ini jumlah yang kita labur kat euro 663,507.11. Kita akan dapat pulangan 1.055. Kenapa dia akan jadi sama dengan 700,000? Sebab kita guna rate ni tadi. Nampak, kita guna deposit rate to calculate the amount to borrow. Kenapa? Sebab kita ni nak dia berkembang jadi 700, which is equal exactly to the amount of payable. Maka kita akan guna pulangan from investment tu, okay, investment plus the return tu to pay the payables. Maka payable settle. Alright, jadi apa yang tak settle? Kita ada cost of borrowing that we need to pay to the bank in our home country. Inilah kita punya cost. Alright, kalau dalam forward and option market, cost kita adalah cost untuk beli USD. Dalam kes ni, untuk beli USD dah settle sebab kita bayar guna apa? Kita guna investment. Jadi cost yang berlaku dalam money market adalah cost of borrowing. So berapa kita dapat? 686. Macam mana dapat 686 ni? Jumlah yang kita pinjam 653,687.2. 653,687.2 you times with the cost of borrowing dekat US tu 1.05 here. So alright, we have left with 686,371.56. So we will compare. Alright, apa saya cakap kat sini? In money market, our outflow is in the form of loan and the interest charge lah. The payables have been paid. Dah settle dah payable by using the investment made in the foreign country. So we will compare all the three alternative. Yang mana yang menghasilkan jumlah yang paling rendah? In this case, money market. Kenapa? Yang lain 688,380 forward option market 707 and money market H pula 686,371.56. So kita akan pilih yang paling rendah. In the case of payable, kita akan pilih yang paling rendah. So in this case, the company should choose to do money market H to secure its payable because it gives the company the lowest amount of outflow. Okay, we have done with the first example. So we will continue with our next video for example number 2. Alright, supaya kita lebih memahami. Okay.